Welcome to the Wealth Pocket. Hard work sounds noble, it sounds honest, it sounds safe. That's why it works. From the time you're young, you're taught a simple equation. Work hard, follow the rules, stay disciplined, and you'll be rewarded. But look around. The hardest workers you know are exhausted. Not wealthy, not free, just tired. This isn't an accident. This is design. Hard work is not a path to freedom. It is a control mechanism. And it only works on one group of people. The obedient. Stopwatch 2:30 to 6 o'clock. The lie everyone believes. Obedience is marketed as virtue. Show up on time. Don't question authority. Stay loyal. Be grateful. Wait your turn. You were told that patience will pay off. But patience, without leverage, only benefits the system you're waiting inside. Hard work doesn't make you powerful. It makes you reliable. And reliable people are easy to use. The system doesn't reward effort. It rewards position. And most people never change their position, no matter how hard they work. Stopwatch 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Why hard work feels right. Psychological trap. Hard work feels good because it gives the illusion of progress. You're busy, you're tired, you're stressed. That must mean something is happening, right? No, busyness is not progress. Exhaustion is not advancement. Hard work keeps your mind occupied so you don't ask dangerous questions like, why am I still here? Why hasn't my life changed? Who is actually benefiting from my effort? Obedience thrives on distraction. Stopwatch 10 o'clock to 1400. The obedient worker prototype. The obedient worker does everything right. They upgrade skills. They stay late. They take on more responsibility. And every year, they receive a small increase, just enough to survive, never enough to escape. Their value rises. Their freedom does not. Because obedience trades time for permission. And permission can always be revoked. Stopwatch 1400 to 1800. The ceiling you're not supposed to see. Hard work has a ceiling. No matter how hard you work. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only be in one place. You can only sell your time once. This is the invisible wall. People who escape don't work harder. They step outside the time for money trade. The obedient stay inside it forever. Stopwatch 1800 to 2200. Why the system needs you obedient. The system does not collapse from laziness. It collapses when people stop complying. Hard workers keep everything running. Companies, governments, institutions. Your discipline powers structures that don't serve you. That's why obedience is praised. That's why rebellion is shamed. Not violent rebellion, financial independence. Because nothing is more dangerous than someone who no longer needs permission. Stopwatch 2226. The false promise of, one day. One day you'll rest. One day you'll enjoy life. One day things will slow down. That day never arrives. Because obedience always pushes the reward into the future. And the future is where freedom goes to die. Hard work keeps you too busy surviving to design an exit. Stopwatch 26. 0030. The people who escape. Look closely at people who are free. They are not the hardest workers. They are the best positioned. They own systems. They control distribution. They use leverage. They make decisions once, and get paid repeatedly. The obedient make decisions daily, and start over every morning. Stopwatch 30. 0034. What actually creates wealth? Wealth comes from ownership, leverage, control, asymmetry, not effort. Effort is fuel, but without direction, fuel just burns. Hard work without ownership is a treadmill. You run, the machine moves, you stay exactly where you started. Stopwatch 34. 0037. The moment of choice. At some point, everyone faces this decision. Remain obedient, or become intentional. One path feels safe, the other feels uncertain, but safety is an illusion when you don't control the outcome. Obedience guarantees predictability, not freedom. Stopwatch 37. 0040. Quiet ending. No motivation, just truth. This is not a call to quit working. It's a warning. If all you ever do is work harder, you will only become better at obeying. Hard work is not evil. But it is not the answer. And the longer you confuse effort with progress, the longer you remain exactly where the system wants you. Silent. productive, replaceable. Hard work is treated like a moral law. Question it, and you're labeled lazy. Doubt it, and you're told to try harder. But observe reality, not slogans. The people pushing the hardest are not winning. They are surviving. Long hours, permanent stress, delayed lives. This isn't failure, it's compliance. Hard work was never meant to free you. It was meant to keep you useful. Stopwatch 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Obedience disguised as character. From childhood, obedience is framed as integrity. Follow instructions. Respect authority. Don't disrupt the system. Those who comply are praised. Those who question are punished. The lesson is clear. Safety comes from submission. But submission doesn't build wealth. It builds dependability. And dependable people are replaceable. Stopwatch 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Why effort feels like progress. Effort creates emotional relief. If you're tired, you feel productive. If you're busy, you feel responsible. This sensation is addictive. Hard work occupies the mind so thoroughly that reflection becomes impossible. There's no time to ask why the destination never changes. Fatigue becomes the substitute for advancement. Stopwatch 11 o'clock to 1500. The loyal worker loop. The obedient worker believes in accumulation. More skills, more tasks, more sacrifice. Each year brings slightly better pay and slightly less life. Responsibility increases. Freedom doesn't. They are rewarded with trust, not autonomy. Trust keeps you inside the cage. Stopwatch 1500 to 1900. The hidden limit of labor. Labor has boundaries. Your body has limits. Your attention has limits. Your time is finite. No matter how disciplined you become, effort stops scaling. This is where most people stall permanently. They push harder against a wall they were never told existed. Stopwatch 1900 to 2300. Why the system praises hard workers. The system survives on consistency. Hard workers provide stability, predictable behavior, reliable output. That's why obedience is glorified. Not because it creates opportunity, but because it prevents disruption. Independence threatens order. Dependence sustains it. Stopwatch 2327. The myth of later. Obedience promises relief in the future. Later you'll rest. Later you'll enjoy life. Later you'll be free. But later is an ever-moving target. The obedient delay living until the system no longer needs them. By then, time has already been spent. Stopwatch 27:0031. The difference between workers and owners. Owners design systems. Workers operate within them. Owners make decisions once. Workers repeat decisions endlessly. Ownership creates distance between effort and reward. Labor ties reward directly to exhaustion. This difference explains everything. Stopwatch 31:0035. What actually changes outcomes. Wealth is not the result of intensity. It's the result of control, leverage, positioning, asymmetric returns. Hard work without control is motion without direction. You expend energy. The structure benefits. Stopwatch 35:0038. The fork in the road. Everyone eventually reaches a point of awareness. You can continue performing perfectly inside a system you don't own. Or you can accept uncertainty and begin designing leverage. One path feels respectable, the other feels dangerous. Only one leads anywhere new. Stopwatch 38:0040. Closing, the quiet reality. This message is not anti-work. It's anti-illusion. Hard work is a tool, not a strategy. If effort is all you offer, obedience becomes your identity. And obedience, no matter how disciplined, never leads to freedom. Hard work sounds honorable. That's why it works. You're told effort equals progress. That discipline creates freedom. But the people working hardest aren't free. They're tired, not unlucky, used. Hard work was never meant to release you. It was meant to keep you compliant. Stopwatch 1:30 to 3:30. Obedience is virtue. Obedience is sold as character. Show up. Follow instructions. Don't question outcomes. Those who comply are praised. Those who hesitate are replaced. The system doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards predictability. And predictable people are controllable. Stopwatch 3:30 to 5:30. Why effort feels like movement. Effort creates noise. If you're busy, you feel useful. If you're exhausted, you feel responsible. This feeling is the trap. Hard work fills your days so completely. You never notice your position never changes. Motion replaces progress. Stopwatch 5:30 to 7:30, the ceiling of labor. There is a limit to effort. Your body breaks. Your focus fades. Your hours end. No matter how disciplined you become. Labor stops scaling. You push harder. The system stays exactly the same. Stopwatch 7:30 to 9:30, why the system needs you obedient. The system runs on obedience. Hard workers keep everything stable. They absorb pressure. They follow timelines they didn't choose. That's why obedience is celebrated. Not because it builds wealth, but because it prevents resistance. Stopwatch 9:30 to 11:30, the future that never comes. Obedience promises relief later. Later you'll rest. Later you'll live. Later you'll be free. Later never arrives. The obedient postpone life until there's nothing left to enjoy. Stopwatch 11:30 to 13:30, the ones who escape. The free are not the hardest workers. They own systems. They control distribution. They decide once and collect repeatedly. Workers repeat decisions every day and reset every morning. This is the difference. Stopwatch 13:30 to 1500, closing. The truth. This isn't an attack on work. It's a warning. If effort is your only strategy, obedience becomes your role. Hard work without leverage doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to efficiency. And efficient people are easy to replace.